Alright guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Afrobeat the right way. So if you're a beginner and you want to learn how to make Afrobeat, this is the right video for you. Without wasting much time, let's jump right into it. So I've selected most of the instruments I'll be using. I have a shaker, I have a rim shot, I have a kick, I have the hi-hat. Actually, I have two of them. So there's one here and there's another one here. I have another snare. And the reason I have this snare is probably to add variations and probably a drum roll. Then I think I have another rim shot here. It sounds like this, okay? So let me just show you all the samples I have. This is shaker. So I just need to tell you that selecting the right instrument is the first step to having a great Afrobeat. This is the first rim shot I have. You can see it's sharp, short, and punchy, just the way I like it. Then this is the kick I have. I love it, very precise and thumpy. This is the first hi-hat I have. So this is the snare I hope to use for my drum fills and all of that. Then this is the one I showed you before. It's kind of like a clap, but a little bit more intense. Then this is the second hi-hat I have, just to create a counter snare attack. So let's go ahead and create a pattern. So to do that, I need to turn on my metronome. And then Afrobeat starts around 100 BPM. So you have to, I hope you can see this session. You have to reduce it to probably, I'll start at 98 and see how we'll go from there. So I'll play it so that you hear. Okay. I like that. Okay, I like this groove. I like this particular groove. Then I can go ahead and feel the first hi-hats. I can feel each 4 steps. So you can notice that this is like an off timing hi-hat, okay? And I pretty much like it. What I can do to vary the pattern a little, I can mess with the swing. You can see it's at 10%. Whatever you are doing, you can check this section to see. If I touch the swing now, you see that it's at 10%. It gives me a different bounce. Okay, most people do not remember to mess with the swing, the overall swing, and end up with those boring drums we are trying to avoid in this video. So let's proceed. What is left now is the shakers. Okay, so I'll open this up in piano roll, and the reason I want to do this is so that I can select a different time. This is 1/3 time. Most people just leave it at line and then end up with what we are trying to avoid, the boring drums. Let me get the sound. Okay. I like this section. Let's check this. Okay, so I like this bounce. The other thing you can do is to create something like a row. So to do that, what you do is hold Control, highlight, and then click Control U. To make it more intense, you want to probably make it a 1/4 step. Then you want to vary the velocity, okay? So after that, we can come over and what we want to do next is export all of this to the mixer track. But before we do that, we want to reduce the velocity here. Most people skip this step. You want to reduce the velocity so that the VSTs are not coming in the harshness, if you understand what I mean. So they are not too harsh. What I normally do, I remove the kick, I select every other thing, and then I start pasting. Let's start from insert 3. So you left click, channel routing, route selected channel starting from this track. Now it's going to bring whatever I have to the mixer. So if I play it, you can hear them now. So at this point, I can get my kick and put it on insert 1. Okay. So typically, this is how you create a drum loop or a percussion loop, depending on whatever you choose to call it. Okay, so next we are going to go into the mixing stage. So just start to mix the drums, and the area we are going to focus on is the gain staging. We need to work on so gain staging typically talks about how we reduce the volumes of each of the instruments depending on what we want to drive the song. So some instruments will be pronounced while others will be kept in the background. Depending on the style of music you make, typically for Afrobeat, we want the kick and the rim shots to be pronounced. The shakers will kind of be in the middle. And then after that, we'll talk about panning and we'll go on from there. I don't want the shakers too high, so all right, so I think I'm okay with the volumes. I have just the kick and the snare pronounced. Every other thing seems to be in the background, and I love it that way. So the next thing we are going to do, especially for the drums, is we are going to pan. So panning simply means moving some instruments to the left, some others to the right. And the reason why we do this is to make space for the vocals to sit. The only thing you don't want to pan is the kick and the bass. Every other thing has to be panned. Left or right. Depending on your preference though, there are no rules to distance. Sorry, so this is the knob to do that. When I scroll down, it's going to move to the left. When I scroll up, it's going to move to the right. So that's how it works. Then, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, one simple rule is if you don't have so many instruments running, you don't want to pan too much. This is panning too much. If there are just few, you want to just pan a little bit, either to the left or to the right. I'll leave mine at around 20%. You can check the percentage there. And let's go from there. Okay, I'm satisfied with the panning. Next, we'll talk about the stereo separation. This is a knob to do that. It's kind of like the smaller knob you see here. So same thing with the panning. If I take it up, if I scroll upwards, it's going to go to the right. Downwards, it's going to go to the left. Okay, so the instruments that should be separated are typically these ones we have here. The high-end instruments. For the kick and the bass, you want to make them more centralized. That is, if I scroll up, you see it's written meshed. You want to measure it, say probably around 40-50%. Okay, so that they are more centralized. Okay, I'll take mine to 50%. Then every other thing here, you want to mess with the stereo separation to ensure that we have that stereo width that we are looking for. Okay, so for the shakers, I want to take them around 25%. For the rim shot, not so much. The hi-hats. Okay, and so once you do this accurately, you see that it starts to sound wider. Okay, and make everything just blend in perfectly. All right, so obviously I believe you like that already. The next thing you want to do is come over here and select split by channel. Now every instrument has its own channel. Then you come over here, select line, and the reason why we do this is so that every instrument is in time. Okay, so you can now drop each and every one of them. I like to have my kick on top. Okay, followed by the shakers. I'll have the hi-hats here. I have the second hi-hat here. Then I can now have the kick. What else is left? 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So what have I not added there? Let me expand the window. I have the shaker. Okay, I've not added the rim shot. It's there now. Then the other rim shots. So I believe I have everything now. All right, so the next thing I want to do is add a chord pattern. So I'll just name it chord. I have a video on how to make chords, but in this video I'll just go ahead and add it. Then what you do is highlight. Control B is going to give you a paste effect. Once you copy, hit Control B and then you can paste. The reason I'm doing this is to make room for more chords, so I can extend the chord region. So I'm trying to generate a Burna Boy kind of chord pattern. And for Afrobeat, we typically make use of guitars. Guitars are very, very important when making Afrobeat. And I'll be using the vinyl guitar too for this tutorial. It sounds really, really amazing. I like that. I like how that sounds. So let's go ahead and play that. And you want to ensure that you selected the record. Okay. So go ahead and hit record when you're ready. It's going to count down and then you can play in whatever you like. So let's go. Don't forget to record in notes and automation. That is if you want to edit the notes later. If you record it as an audio clip, you most likely will not be able to edit it in an easy way. Okay, let me put it that way. So notes and automation, let's go. I don't like that. Okay. So after so many minutes of coming up with a perfect melody, changing notes, pitching them up and down, this is what I have. Now you can notice that the melody you're hearing here is quite different from what you're hearing here, even though they are the same chords, but I vary them with the notes just to keep it interesting. Okay. So next I'll introduce the bass. So I'll come over to the plus sign and add bass. Okay, so let's drop in the bass. Don't forget to go crazy. For my bass, I like to use the 3x oscillator. Now this is the setup for my bass. Turn this knob down, turn this knob down, increase this one, and then you have something thick you can work with. So let's go. So I already have an idea of what I want the bass line to be, so I'll just go ahead and play that in quickly. All right, so notes and automation. Let's go. Okay, so that's what I have, just a very short bass line. Trying to make this one a triplet, so let's go ahead and do that. Let me I have to separate it some more. I love that. need to double this. So just experiment and go crazy. All right, now I'll just talk about counter melodies and I'll end it for today's video. Okay, so let's add one more melody just to spice up whatever we are playing. So let's go. So that's how to add a counter melody. I'll just call this melody. Melody is something to keep the entire project interesting. So let's add the melody over here. I'll just play some notes and record that in. So let's go. Notes and automation. That beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, so this is what we have all together. So now I have 3 instruments added, so I'll just select them and then come over to the mixer track and route them. Okay, so this is what we have all together. I can reduce this. All right, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do that. This is the perfect time to do that. Now, to make your beats even hit harder, what you want to do is, don't forget you can add many more instruments. I just want to limit it to this number of instruments just because of the length of the video. When you're done, what you can do is EQ. You can check out my video on how to EQ. I don't want to cover that today, but basically maybe you just go for a 20 Hz chord. Remove some of the high end, maybe around 16,000. Okay, around 16,000, and then cut out about 30 to 35 Hz from the bass end. Okay, then you can add, put another EQ so that you boost some of the parts that you want. If you want some more low end, you can work on this area. I already have a video on that. You can go check that out. Then finally, this is the step I want to talk about. You can just add a compressor. Okay, this is how to use the compressor. You work on the threshold just to tell the compressor that any volume that escapes that threshold, you should bring it down, so it will not take effect if you don't work on the ratio. So just take the ratio to around 2. If you increase it to 3, 4, that's very intense compression. Then whatever you've lost from the compression, you can add it via the gain knob. can tell that it sounds louder already, and the reason why I will do that is so that that beat is going to hit hard, especially when you're going to post it on YouTube or any other platform that you do. So this is just a mental picture of what mixing and making a beat looks like, sounds like on FL Studio. Don't forget to explore, and do other crazy things with your time. It's Tunes here. Peace out.